And welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Chris Kelso. Next, we have up Chad Wasilenkoff. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that too bad. Chad, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Doing very well, thank you. And you are with Fortress Paper. Let us know a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yes, I'm the founder and executive chairman of Fortress Paper, which is a Canadian-based forestry company. We've got two main divisions. One is in dissolving pulp, where we take your standard traditional wood trees. We go through a process, and ultimately it actually turns into textiles, mostly of which we sell over in China and a few other Asian countries. Our second division is in Switzerland, where we make banknotes. So we're the sole and exclusive maker for Switzerland and all the Swiss francs. We make the euro for up to 12 countries in any given year, and dozens of other banknotes around the world as they're needed.
Now, I know that the new 50-franc note is considered one of the most secured currencies in the world. What was your role in providing that?
Yeah, so it's a collaboration with the Swiss National Bank and one of the universities in Zurich, where we decided to create this brand new, one-of-a-kind, state-of-the-art substrate. It's meant to be, again, the most counterfeit banknote in the world, and we call it DuraSafe. So we take two thin sheets of cotton-based banknote paper, and then we bond them together. Right before we bond them together, we can cut holes in one of the sheets or both of the sheets, and then we put molten polymer in the middle, so it allows for the same touch and feel of a standard traditional cotton banknote. But now with this polymer core, we can have see-through or transparent windows. So again, making it very, very difficult for the counterfeiters. Really,
because you're describing it right now, I thought I could do it in the back of my house tomorrow.
Yeah, it took us 10 years and $20 million of research and development to be able to perfect this banknote. But we're pretty confident it'll take a while for the counterfeiters to even come close to replicating it.
You know, and one of the things you mentioned, obviously, that's a large investment. You know, I don't know if you know some of these numbers or not, you know, and if not, you know, we'll talk maybe just around them. But, you know, counterfeiting in currency in general, not just the Swiss franc, but currency in general, is a major problem in any country. It absolutely takes away billions, if not trillions of dollars, you know, of market and of money and of business and of opportunity out of that market.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, all the banknotes are the trust in the government that helps the economy flow and keep GDP going and growing. And obviously, if there's lack of trust or confidence in those banknotes or the inherent value that they're supposed to represent, it really starts to slow down the economy, and people are financially hurt if they get caught with a counterfeit banknote. They probably traded it somewhere, thought they had, again, the proper value on the denomination, and the last person holding it, unfortunately, is the one that gets stuck with the law.
Now, of all the places for you to develop a currency, by the way, why the Swiss franc note, by the way? I mean, how did that come about? How did that relationship come about?
Yeah, so I'm an investor, I guess, first and foremost, and I was scouring the planet looking for good investment opportunities, and this banknote mill happened to be for sale. So I was not looking specifically to get into the space, but as I evaluated and did the various research and dug a lot deeper, it was such a great industry. It's basically recession-proof. It keeps growing 3 to 4% every year. Continues to grow globally, high barriers to entry. So again, it fit a lot of the profiles that I look for when I go after these types of investments, and that's what got us into the space. And since acquiring it, we've increased the capacity more than 10 times its original banknote production. So, and we're full. So things are going well there.
And talk a little bit about, you know, also, and I agree with you, high barriers to entry, obviously year-over-year growth. Money is being printed all the time, which is a good thing right there. But also over in Switzerland, obviously Swiss, you know, we see that as being a very stable market, stable currency. Talk a little bit about how that drives the factor as well and what that looks like on a global scale. Yeah,
so Switzerland is considered one of the safe haven currencies. So obviously during times of crisis or uncertainty, there is a flight to that particular currency. So it's actually been poor for our manufacturing. Obviously, it just increases our overall cost base having operations in that country, but there are some ancillary benefits. You know, a lot of people flying into the Swiss franc, and a lot of people not liking negative interest rates, so they're taking out 1,000 Swiss franc notes and putting them in safety deposit boxes, so at least they don't have any erosion of the capital. So we are seeing some good demand, sort of extra robust demand these days for the Swiss franc. We think, though, over time that'll come back and be more normalized, obviously, as the financial crisis abates and things start to get back to normal, which obviously we know it's probably still going to be several more years, but hopefully it's on the right track.
And then, switching just a little bit also to go back to what you originally talked about is also you're an international producer of obviously specialty pulp in which you do a lot of products and send those out to China. How is that looking right now? What is the world economy and what has the export opportunity been looking like as far as growth on that?
Yeah, so that market has had a challenging 3 or 4 years. The underlying commodity price hit a high back in, I think it was about 2010. It was probably about $2,750 a ton. Now it's at about $850 a ton. So it's been it's definitely trough pricing, but we're still profitable even at these levels. There still is continuing growth, probably in the neighborhood of 8 to 10% per year. We just had a period again of too much capacity, and we're eating our way through that. So we think the next 2 to 3 years should be sort of back to normal, where it's $1,100, $1,200 pricing. Good demand globally. The product that ultimately dissolving pulp goes into is rayon or viscose, which is a replacement for cotton. And again, there's good demand there. It's a better product than cotton in terms of its characteristics of dryability, aerability. It holds the dyes for the fabric makers better, and things like that, and just generally a more environmentally friendly product than cotton, because of cotton production globally it uses a lot of water, a lot of herbicides, fertilizers, pesticides, things like that. So we still remain very confident and bullish in the long-term prospects for that space.
And as you mentioned, rayon is one of those things that came on the scene, I remember a long time ago, and all of a sudden you get these shirts that are made of rayon, you get all these products, things that we see every day, and you're right, it's a very comfortable feel, feels just like cotton, and yet has a different consistency to it that allows it, as you mentioned right there, it keeps its color for a lot longer, but also feels extremely comfortable. So, the fact that it's a main product to go into rayon, very interesting right there.
Yeah, no, again, we're seeing high single-digit growth rates over the last decade, and we expect those to continue, and it's really just a substitution, a replacement of cotton. But the whole textile industry, just in raw tonnage, is growing anyway, so we're experiencing growth upon that growth of the sector. So it's good times ahead, we feel. That
is incredible. Well, Chad, we are coming up against time on this segment. How can we reach you, and how can we get a hold of Forest Paper if we want to know more information?
Yeah, you can come and contact us through our website at www.fortresspaper.com, and all our details are there.
Fortresspaper.com. That's FORTRESS paper.com. You can see all the great information. Chad, thank you very much for being on board with us today.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. For all those tuning in to the Price of Business, again, you can always catch us at priceofbusiness.com for this show or any of our past shows. Again, we're taking a break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.